Hello, I'm Donald Leggatt, and welcome to the latest London South East focusIrR CEO interview. I'm joined again by Mike Buck, CEO at Petro Matad, the AIM-listed Mongolian oil explorer and developer, and Mike is going to give us an extensive operational update today. Welcome, Mike. Nice to speak to you again. A fair bit's happened since we spoke last, Mike.
Yeah, nice to see you again, Donald. And yes, indeed it has. So let's get on with it.
Okay. Let's talk us through your recent news around the granting of the special purpose land certification for Block 20. I'm sure it's what people want to hear about.
Okay, yeah, well, this was a very important step for us and obviously a long time coming. So we appreciate everybody's patience on this one. This special purpose certification had to be approved at cabinet level, and it took a long time and a lot of government agencies to go through to get to that level. And we managed to push it through just before the start of the big Mongolian holidays in July. And the feedback we had from people that were in the meeting was effectively it went through on the nod. Mongolia building an oil refinery. So obviously we need land to be able to be accessed by the operators who are actually trying to bring fields on stream. So that was very, very positive. What's happening now is the formal process to register that land with the land agency is ongoing. There are some land management agreements that have to be signed, and there are some herders who had registered pasture in the area that we've been granted. They need to be compensated. It's not a lot of money, but we've already had conversations with those herders to offer them new land or offer them compensation for the land that will be within our area. The certification covers the whole of the exploitation area. That's 214 square kilometers. We shaved it a little bit to exclude a couple of pastures that were right on the edge, so we didn't disturb those herders. And so that will include not only heron and the gazelle discovery that we also made in 2019, but all the prospectivity we've defined in the proven basin that extends south from PetroChina's Block 19. So we're very pleased to have taken this important step forward.
Okay, that takes us up to this point. So what are the next steps to take Heron-1 into production? And what are the important milestones we should look out for in the coming months? Okay,
well, the provincial and the district governments now get involved. They have to act on the cabinet resolution to complete the legal process of getting this land firmly in our hands. Fair to say that the July holidays in Mongolia didn't help. They're only supposed to last a week, but they tend to last most of the rest of the month. But they're now out of the way, and the land agency, which has most of the tasks to do in this formal process, they're working well. They've sent out all the documents that need to be sent out. The speed of response from the provincial and the district government is going to determine what kind of time frame there will be for Heron-1. And of course, we'll be pushing all the way with every agency involved. The Ministry of Mining and the regulator, MRPAM, have both said that they want us on stream this year and that they will facilitate that. And obviously, we would like that very much too. In addition to the land access, we also need the oil sales agreement with PetroChina sorted out. We have an MOU signed with them a long time ago for general cooperation, including the export and sale of oil. So we're following up on that, and MRPAM, the regulator, is helping us to get that sorted, because I don't want to make the well ready for production and then not be able to produce it because there's no agreement on where the oil can go. So we're looking to piggyback on PetroChina's very efficient and effective export route until such time as the Mongolian domestic refinery is completed, and then things will change for all producers in Mongolia, and we're looking forward to that too.
So it's still not clear exactly when the well will be spudded, but you do know that it just takes a week or two to actually drill and get the results thereafter.
Yeah, actually, Donald, it's not a matter of drilling. The well is already drilled and is sitting there effectively suspended, waiting for us to mobilize equipment to complete it. So that will be the installation of production tubing, putting the pump on site, putting the tanks up. All of that equipment is in country and waiting, has been for some time. The contractors that will do the work have confirmed their availability. So it's a matter of getting this legal process out of the way, and then it's a very short piece of work to actually put Heron-1 into production.
Okay, it's been a long time coming. So perhaps well worth reminding us what the economics of the project look like.
Yeah, well, obviously it depends on the recoverable reserves. We've got an independent certification of oil in place of almost 200 million barrels. And if we were to use these days, a relatively conservative assessment of recoverable reserves, around about 30%, then we're looking at 60 million barrels plus recoverable. Obviously not all proven yet, but as we step out with new wells from Heron-1, we intend to prove up as quickly and as much as we can. The economics on this is very good. The break-even oil price for PetroChina's operation in Mongolia is fairly high, I believe in the kind of the $30–35 a barrel. We don't have firm figures on that, but obviously with the oil price being where it is, and with the fiscal terms in Mongolia being quite attractive for the contractor, we'd be looking to make quite a lot of money on production. I don't want to rely on just Heron-1, so obviously I'd like to get some new wells drilled, and we're looking into how to do that. We've submitted our multi-year, multi-well contract that we've negotiated with the main drilling contractor in Mongolia. We've submitted that to the regulator for their input. They have to approve that, and we're hopeful that they will, and get that all lined up so that once Heron-1 is on stream, we're in a position to start moving forward on the, if you like, phase one of the development.
Okay. That said, you did have a disappointing result from Velociraptor-1, that exploration prospect that you drilled. So what next with the Raptor trend, and do the economics there merit further exploration wells? What did the board think about that one?
Yeah, okay. Well, Velociraptor-1 was a disappointing result indeed. This was a well drilled in the central part of Mongolia, a very, very long way from proven hydrocarbons, although only 7 kilometers south of the Snow Leopard 1 well that we drilled in 2018 that proved that there was a working petroleum system in the basin. That well had oil shows but no reservoir. Velociraptor-1, once drilled, had fantastic thick reservoirs, but unfortunately no shows. We didn't consider it, nor did the board, a prospect that we could leave undrilled, given the massive potential impact that it had for the company and the country. But yes, it was a disappointing result all the same. In terms of what's next for the Raptor trend, we're analyzing the cuttings from Velociraptor-1, in particular to look at the source rock presence and maturity in that well. Right now, I'm doubtful that we can find a sufficiently clear explanation for the failure of the well that is actually specific to the Velociraptor prospect. And as such, that would probably not justify drilling again on the Raptor trend. But we're looking at that, and we haven't made a determination yet. But as an ex-geologist, that's kind of my view at the moment. It'll be hard to find a truly prospect-specific reason of failure for Velociraptor-1, and therefore the rest of the Raptor trend looks like, if you go and do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, that's the definition of insanity.
Okay. Not talking about insanity, but looking at phase one and phase two, that perhaps something more positive, something with a positive outcome. Phase one and phase two, the exploitation licensing round that covers southern Mongolia. So what's the latest there?
Yeah, okay. Well, this is the first formal licensing round that the government in Mongolia has held for many years, and they're certainly pursuing this one with enthusiasm. They've released blocks now in effectively 4 tranches since the round started in late November of last year. So in all, 17 blocks have so far been offered. Petro Matad has lodged applications for 2 of those blocks, and we're evaluating another one that was recently gazetted to determine if we want to apply for that. The 2 applications we've made so far are on acreage that we high graded, in that these blocks share basins that are proven producing of oil on the Chinese side of the border. So we're following that tried and trusted exploration philosophy of somebody else finds it, drill next to them. So we've got 2 applications in. On the first of those 2, we've already been selected to negotiate terms. We've done that. and our submission of terms is now under review by the government. On the second block, the process has just started. Once you lodge an application, and then there is defined a timetable in which competing bids can be lodged. We're pleased to say that nobody else has applied for this particular piece of acreage. That will give us a stronger hand when negotiating the terms. So that process has just started. The government set quite an aggressive timetable for this tender round, and so far it's meeting the deadlines that it set for itself. So we are hoping for awards before the end of this year, but the timing is in the government's hands.
Okay, and not forgetting your renewables joint venture with Sunstep Energy. What exactly is that JV, and what timelines that we're looking for in that whole operation?
Yeah, I'm very pleased with the process so far for Sunstep Renewable Energy, which is what we call our JV. It's a joint venture between a local developer called Sunstep that had a good track record of being able to bring projects to construction ready, and with Petro Matad looking to apply sustainable power generation, primarily solutions to its oil field development, but also recognizing that Mongolia has massive potential for solar and wind generated power. And a government that since COP26 has really been pushing to not only increase the percentage of renewables in its own energy mix, but to become self-sufficient in power, which it currently is not, and to be a net exporter of power. So we're actually finding that the bureaucracy that I was told in previous years was very, very slow and sounded not dissimilar to the bureaucracy in oil and gas. The energy ministry is really pushing hard to get a number of projects that have been delayed for some time away, and to entertain new projects and new technologies that can be brought into Mongolia. But up until now, I'm very pleased with the way the joint venture is working, with the opportunities that are coming our way. Quite exciting times, and renewable energy is being talked a lot about in Mongolia. There was an economic forum in early July that was held in Ulaanbaatar, and the buzz around renewables was really, really rather pleasing. I think we may have got our timing right on this one.
Okay, final question, Mike. What kind of news flow can we expect in the next few months? In other words, what are the key areas of focus for Petro Matad?
Okay, well, apart from all the other exciting stuff going on, we really want Heron-1 on stream as a priority. We've waited far too long. Shareholders have waited far too long. Mongolia has waited far too long. So that's the big target for 2023. We really would like to get that on stream, and be sure we will announce it when we do. And we'll try and give updates when there are suitable updates to give as we go along. I'd like to be announcing new PSC areas. That would be great, but obviously that depends on the speed of the government to follow the timetable that it's set. But as I said, to date they seem energized. So a number of things that we'd like to be talking about, but our primary focus is getting Heron-1 on stream and being able to initiate phase 1 of the development of that discovery.
That was Mike Buck, CEO of Petro Matad. Thank you very much indeed for putting the next few months in context for us, Mike. You always do it very well. For more free company information and data about Petro Matad, please go to the MATD pages on London South East. And meanwhile, do follow us on Twitter. That's at London South East, or now at _focusIR_, or check out our London South East YouTube channel to see more interviews like this one. Thank you very much indeed for watching.